Hey class, I know we've had some sick kiddos this week, so I made this video to help keep you up to what we've been doing in math. Now we've been talking a lot about tens, what is a 10, counting by tens, and how to add a 10 to a given number, such as 22 plus 10, or 22 plus 30. So I'm going to bust it up and break it down, and we're going to talk about it step by step. Now first, we need to know how to count by tens. So I want you to count with me. Hey, that's right. You're going to sit right there at home and you're going to count with me every step of the way. So let's get started. Ready? Go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. And of course 100 would come next. So we can count by tens, and let's do it again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. All of those numbers are tens. Now one thing to look for that reminds me that that's a 10 is they all have zeros at the end of them. So that lets me know right off the bat that number is a 10, because 10, it has one 10 rod in it. 20, it has two 10 rods. 30 has three 10 rods. And 70 has 7 10 rods. So we know that. So today, what I would like to talk about is how to add 10 to a given number. And it's pretty simple. So let's talk about this. 36 plus 10. How about 36 plus 30, or even 36 plus 40? Now, first thing I want you to notice about all of these is that I'm adding 10 or a 10 to each number. So we're adding 10 to this number. That's one 10 rod. We're adding 30 to this number. That's three 10 rods. And we're adding 40 to this number. So that's four 10 rods. So if I said 36 plus 10, I would just say, boom, 46. Just like I would say 40, 50, 60, 70. It's just like counting by tens, but instead of starting on a 10, you actually start on a given number, like 36, 46, 56, 66. That one would be 66. This one would be 36, 46, 56, 66, 76. I just went up 4 sets of 10. Now, that's just the way to skip count and do it. That's not really the technical way to go about doing this. So I'm going to break it down and show you how I want you to do it. First, we have to look at what's in the tens and ones place. So let's talk about the number 34. We have a 3 in the tens place. That means 3 10 rods. And we have a 4 in the ones place. So if I'm talking about the number 34, I'm going to write it again so we can see it. That means 3 10 rods, 10, 20, 30, and it means 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 34. So that means I have 3 in the tens place and 4 in the ones place. So let's talk about the number 20. How many 10 rods do I have in 20? I want you to think about that. How many 10 rods do I have in the number 20? I have 2 10 rods. How many ones do I... Uh-oh. We don't have any ones in 20. We have 0 ones. There's nothing in the ones place. As you see in 34, we have 4 in the ones place. So I have 4 little bitty guys trying to make a 10 rod, but they just don't have enough. We have 4 in the ones place, but over in 20, we have 0 in the ones place. No ones, just 2 10 rods. That's all the number 20 needs. Now that's going to help us when we try to add a set of tens, and 20 is a set of tens, to a given number, such as 34. Let's talk about the number 68. 68 has a 6 in the tens place, and it has an 8 in the ones place. We all know that, right? So it has 6 10 rods. Those are 10 rods. Not the prettiest 10 rods, but they're 10 rods. And it has 8 cubes in the ones place. And they're trying to make a 10 rod, there's just not enough of them. So you have 6 10s and 8 1s. Now, what we need to talk about, the reason why I'm talking about 10s and 1s so much is because it's very, very important when we add a group of 10s to this number. Now let me just go ahead and show you what I'm talking about so I don't confuse you. Let's look at 68 plus 20. The first thing we got to know is what do we have in the 10s place in 68 and the 10s place in 20. And then you want to look quickly at the 1s place. And I already have that written out for us. 68 plus 20 has 6 10s in 68, as you can see here. And it has 2 10s in 20. Now, this is a group of 10s. That's, that's a group of 10s because it's 2 groups of 10. Now, when we're adding a group of 10s to a given number, you want to look at the number in the 10s place on both of them. You have 6 10s in this number. You have 2 10s in this number. Now, let's look at the 1s. This has 8 1s. This has 0 1s. So I bet when I add these together, I bet the number in the 10s place will change. And I bet the number in the 1s place will stay the same because 8 plus 0, well, let me ask you this. If you have 8 apples and you want, okay, let's say you have 8 apples and I give you 0 more apples, how many apples are you going to have? You're going to have 8 because if I give 0 apples to you and you already have 8, 8 plus 0 is 8. So next what we're going to talk about is the 6 plus 2. Now, a way I have this designed for us to look at, now this isn't a perfect way to do this, but it's a way to look at it and see exactly what's going on. It busts it up a little bit better. These numbers here, on this side, are the numbers in the 10s place, like 68 and 20. So, let's add up the numbers in the 1s place first. What's 8 plus 0? I want you to think about that. And the answer is 8. That's just like what I was talking about over here. If you have 8 apples, and I'm not giving you any more, I give you 0. You have 8 apples, and I give you 0 of my apples, guess what? You just have 8 apples. So the 1s place doesn't change. The 1s place does not change if you're adding a group of 10s. The only thing you have to worry about changing is what's in the 10s place. So 6 plus 2 is 8. Now let's see what numbers changed. Did anything change on this side? Nope, the 8 stayed the same. Did anything change on this side? Yes. The 10s changed. They changed from a 6 and a 2. 60 and 20 is 80. So you have 6 10 rods, and I'm going to draw those 10 rods. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you have 2 1s. I mean, you have 2 10s down here. So you have 6 10s and 2 10s. And then you have 8 1s. And you have 0 1s. I can't draw anything there because that's a 0. It just doesn't mean anything. It's absolutely nothing. It's just a big goose egg. So 8 plus absolutely nothing. So that would just be 8. It stays the same. And 6 plus 2 equals 8. And really, this is 60 plus 20 because you can see the 10 rods, and I want you to count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So that's where the 8 comes from. And then this 8 is an 8 because of the 8 1s. So, now that we know how to add a group of 10s, here's my group of 10s, to a given number, here's my given number, 68. Let's work on some together. Now, some of you at home might want to try the skip count method, and that's perfectly fine. You know, where you just kind of grab that number and you say 36, 46, 56, 66. That's fine. But here's what I want you to do for homework. There it is. You can pause your screen right now and take a good look at that. I hope that helps, and I hope all of this hot mess that I have here on the table helps too. If you need to go back and watch it again, I'm sure you can just rewind. So, this is your homework. I hope it helps. I mean, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it, but it's there if you need it. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email, text, whatever you need to do. And thanks for watching, and hopefully we can all get healthy. It's just been a rough week. Everybody's got the virus. So, but thanks again for looking at the class website and watching, and thank you all for your support. Thank you.